Good day, my friends. Hope you're all having a good kickoff to the week. I thought today I would read the introduction to this most heretical, blasphemous, and demonically infested book containing 75 of the best obscenities, absurdities, and atrocities from the best-selling book of all time. The introduction gives some more background into the contents of the book. I will get the book into the TikTok shop soon. It'll be back in stock there soon. In the meantime, there's a link on the profile page. And it's also available at audible.com and is read by the author. So here we go, the introduction. In all affairs, it is a healthy thing now and then to hang a question mark on the things you've long taken for granted. Bertrand Russell. Engaging and submitting my long-held sacred beliefs to a collision course with reality has been of indescribable enjoyment. Beginning as a child and through the years to follow, my incessant studying of the Bible, along with theological and philosophical matters, had always led me to naturally question, though never overstep, my dearly treasured and hallowed foundation of Christianity. Upon reflection, I now realize these questions and wonders, which were routinely met with age-old cliches, disdain, and shock, were but smoldering embers, those which would inevitably culminate and lead to a quenchless inferno, one that would finally scorch and devour much of all that I held sacred and lead to newfound freedom. Of utmost irony was the ensuing shedding of my old self, that old man in radical departure, dying a delightful death and being reborn. A metamorphosis that transcended any self-persuaded exhilaration from the compulsory prayer of salvation and baptism of my youth, had now renewed a happiness that I was promised would forever hide itself from me. Purification that I was only promised through baptism, and avowing the prayer of salvation as an innocent child, though one having been born in sin, destitute of God's love, and in need of redemption, had now truly cleansed my mind. Redemption that I was promised in forsaking much of my fellow mankind by exercising an elitist, yet comfortably quiet judgment regarding the many walks of life other than my own, had now become more real than anything I had ever felt before. An overwhelming release, an extraordinary letting go, and a massive weight being lifted quickly became evident as I replaced the emphasis on a promise of a blissful life in eternity with the one momentary life that I have here on earth. The peace and tranquility I now feel in abandoning the lens of scrutiny and embracing the lens of camaraderie with my fellow man is unspeakably superior to that I had convinced myself of in my delusion. A new set of eyes, purely clear in blindness to the differences, those of which in signature self-righteous arrogance had sadly established my unique and separate status in having been saved by a God. Excuse me, by the way, I'm afflicted. My voice is just about gone. Dealing with affliction here. I'm very grateful for this one source I can attribute to my personal transformation. Though there have been many inspirations along the way, this source entirely outweighs the fleeting words of any modern man, the self-aggrandizing sound bites of any preacher, the doctrines, dogmas, and religions of the world, including those found in any cathedral, temple, or Sunday clubhouse, current and prior friendships, whether good or indifferent, and all forms of academia, including every book in print, except one. This one source is the Bible. I've curated 75 of my favorite curiosities from the Holy Book, each of which, if sacrilegiously eliminated, would make the Bible exponentially better in terms of morality and overall sensibility, an improvement that should be impossible for the Word of God. After all, entrusting the affairs and eternity of my life into the hands of Iron Age scribes, whom promise calamitous repercussions if I merely disbelieve in whatever they penned, is a comical proposition in itself. As a father, I urge every parent to consider their children when reading the various passages inside. Though I don't think it will take much convincing, it's my prayer you find them as egregious and inflammatory as I do, and thus spare your innocent ones from such inanity. In the words of Thomas Paine, any system of religion that shocks the mind of a child cannot be true. The world is my country, all mankind are my brethren, and to do good is my religion. With the focus on making the book an easy and quick read, the scriptural text and my personal commentary for each of the 75 passages is brief. I focused on using 2 translations when it was most necessary, and 2 that indeed complement each other, and most importantly, accurately corroborate with each other. The first is the NLT, the New Living Translation, and the second is the KJV, the King James Version. For many people, the New Living Translation is the easiest version of the Bible to read because it uses normal modern English. It is an accurate thought-for-thought translation of the original language of the Bible and is widely accepted. There may be other translations found throughout, including my personal translation as satire, the JST, the J. Schneider translation. And additional common abbreviations may be found, full references found in the back of the book. With love, J. Schneider. I want to thank the many of you that have already purchased the book. I really appreciate it. Appreciate all the support of the page. I love you all. And again, there's a link on the profile page, but I will get this book back in stock in the TikTok shop. Love to you all. Have a great week. See ya.